Hello. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're back. Technical difficulties. As I was saying, I'm just gonna go through this pretty quick tonight. Not much update to give, but I'm just going to show kind of my cleaned up chart here on Bitcoin. Maybe take a look at some other stuff real quick. But I've removed all the levels I had in here because they were just making this look like a mess. That was just more of an exercise for me to put in, horizontal support and resistance levels. I'm still practicing, so if you're watching this, if you're new here, I am a novice trader. I'm not even really a trader. I've only made a handful of trades in my life, and they've all been unsuccessful. So I'm still learning. I'm practicing. Potentially going to start trading a paper account here soon on Forex to get my feet wet. But it's my goal to transition out of working a full-time job and into full-time trading within the next 6 months or so. Anyway, yeah, so Bitcoin, the whole crypto community, people I follow on Twitter are, everyone is eyeing this triangle. What do you call this? Something. I mean, it's really a right triangle is the shape, but I can't remember. There's a technical trade for or a term for this, a descending triangle, I think. Yeah, so this is a descending triangle, which is if it's in a if price is in a downtrend and then enters a descending triangle, that tends to be bearish and tends to signal further compression downwards, or it's compressing. Price. Price is not finding buyers, enough buyers to resume, or to have any upward momentum if it's in a downtrend. Now you can see back here in January we had a descending triangle, and price sprung out of it and shot upwards. And when it broke the high of the triangle, it ran. So similar could happen, but the difference here is this was in a strong uptrend when it entered this descending triangle. Price was already in a strong uptrend. So, if it's in an uptrend, then these things can break up. Apparently, I mean, I don't, again, I'm new to this, but this at least is one data point showing that descending triangles can break to the upside. This is probably more likely to break to the downside, but it could be a fake out, maybe bounce off some support and break back up. So I'm looking for that. I think a lot of people are looking for a breakdown, maybe as low as 24,000. Is what I could see going. Potentially even lower, to around 20,000. That's less likely because this perpetual futures, BTC perpetual futures doesn't go back to 2017. So let's look at this one. Yeah, the previous all-time high is just under 20,000. So most likely we don't go that low if we do breakdown. It just, in my opinion, no real reason, just other than that, I find that to be extremely unlikely. But possible, definitely, I would really doubt that we even go any lower than that. I'm expecting a continuation, though, to the upside eventually. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months at this point. Honestly, I'm in it for the long haul, though. But yeah, we're right on the edge here. This is it. You got your primary compression triangle line here. I've kind of got a little resistance here too that we're under as well. Yeah, broke out of that line briefly in mid-June, then kind of stayed consolidating under it and haven't gotten back above it since. We got this trend line here that we were just briefly out of, and then now we're back under it. So, I mean, literally, probably tonight, we're going to see a dump, would be my guess. Who knows, though, we'll see what happens. Looking to clear this $40,000 line before even considering trading this. Ideally, breaking out of this line. Looking at a different view, kind of a wedge forming up here to a degree. This is the box kind of showing the weekly closes. This line is all the weekly closes of the range that we've been in, except until we broke, closed below it, and then closed below this weekly line this past week, and then now we've continued downwards. If price does break down, we may just stop here, or we may go lower. So yeah, no real clue what's gonna happen, but price actions is pretty weird, to be honest. So see what happens. Shorts are stacking up on Bitcoin, on Bitfinex. This isn't any type of indicator or anything. It's just interesting to look at. You've been having these crazy spikes in short interest that just go right back down immediately with no real effect on the apparent effect on the price of Bitcoin. Maybe small shorting or small dips in the price correlated with these spikes in the shorts, but nothing more than a couple $1,000s in price change, which is not much for Bitcoin. Ethereum, not looking so good either. Kind of, correlated with Bitcoin to a degree. Ethereum, Bitcoin, we kind of had a bounce and resumption down. Honestly, it's nothing very exciting. Just waiting for some volatility is what I'm waiting on, and hopefully some liquidity grab down here maybe, and maybe that'll be the spark we need to blast on out of this trend line. But I'm expecting towards the end of the year before we really get anywhere near all-time highs, but I might be wrong. Hopefully I am. S&P 500, I haven't looked at this with you guys ever. I don't really pay much attention to it, but it was bullish as ever. NASDAQ just roaring. Dow Jones roaring. Actually, it's kind of testing resistance here. The 10-year yield. I don't really know exactly what the 10-year yield is, but I know a lot of people pay attention to it, and it's inversely correlated with tech stocks. Let's look it up. What is the 10-year yield? 10-year yield. What is proxy for mortgage rates? 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. Treasury securities are loans to the federal government. Maturities range from weeks to as many as 30 years. Because they are backed by the U.S. government, Treasury securities are seen as safer investment relative to stocks. Bond price and yields move in opposite directions. Falling prices boost yields, while rising prices lower yields. The 10-year yield is used as a proxy for mortgage rates. It's also seen as a sign of investor sentiment about the economy. That's, I think, why a lot of people pay attention to this. A rising yield indicates falling demand for Treasury bonds, which means investor prefer higher risk, higher reward investments. Falling yield suggests the opposite. So if yield's rising, then people are probably investing more in tech, which is weird. I thought that if the yield was falling, then people were investing more in tech. Why is it so important? The importance of the 10-year Treasury bond yield goes beyond just understanding return on investment for the security. The 10-year is used as a proxy for many other important financial matters, such as mortgage rates. This bond also tends to signal investor confidence. The U.S. Treasury sells bonds via auction, and yields are set through a bidding process. When confidence is high, price for the 10-year drop and yields rise. This is because investor feels they can find higher returning investments elsewhere and do not feel they need to play it safe. But when confidence is low, bond prices rise and yields fall, as there is more demand for the safe investment. This confidence factor is also felt outside of the U.S. geopolitical situations of other countries can affect U.S. government bond prices. Huh. Yeah, I don't quite understand. I've heard that falling yields correlate with rising tech stocks, but yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. Let's take a look at Forex real quick. Let's just look at the Euro USD. So I've been watching this, waiting for a potential bounce off of this support or breakdown, but one way or the other, I'm looking for interaction with this support. Looking at this throughout history, my view, it seems that anytime we break below this line, we have quite a resumption down from it. Anytime we test it, resume down. But then anytime we are able to break out of this line, we tend to resume out of it. Then it trades sideways sometimes around it. But when you decisively break below it, you see further continuation to the downside. And when you break out of it, you see continuation up. So we're about to come in and interact with this line on the Euro USD. You could see this sideways action around this line, as is been the case many times. And you could also, I can imagine, we could see a bounce off of it or a breakdown below it. So this could be a good place to take a longer short, to follow it and see. So I'm kind of watching it. We had this, or I drew in this line. This looks like kind of the sort of the downward pressure that was on price, and it's more or less broken out of this. That shows me maybe a little bit of bullish momentum, but broke out of it, maybe coming in for a retest. Yeah, I don't really know. I think I just want to keep watching this and see. I see clearly a channel here. You just clone this line. Yeah. Kind of channel there, then you could even clone it again, and then again. Yeah. So you can kind of see we're just zigzagging in this channel right now. Yeah, I think once we get down here, we'll have a more clear idea of what price is going to do. So yeah, I'm watching this. I might be taking an entry either on a bounce of this line, probably on a paper account, or with a very, very small $100 position or something like that, just to get some practice in. But yeah, on a bounce of this line or a breakdown and retest, resuming down. Yeah, it'll be fun. Never traded Forex before, so this is where I'm looking to take my first entry. Looks good to me. Yep, and I'm gonna go back and continue to study trading. That's all I got for tonight, though. If you watched, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again Thursday night. Thanks, everyone.